Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a new company that I think is going to give Midjourney a bit of a run for their money, and it is called Ideogram. So the cool thing about Ideogram is essentially it has just launched an AI image generator. It has really impressive typography. So if you've ever used Midjourney, you know that if you ask it to make a logo with text on it, it does a terrible job. So Ideogram actually does a really good job of, if you ask it for some sort of content with like a birthday card that says happy birthday Jim on it, like it's actually going to write the letters correctly and look good. So very, very cool piece of technology. We're going to be talking about on the podcast how they're able to accomplish this, why we think this is going to be important in the future, and some of the other implications. So let's dive into it. Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. The first thing here is to know that Ideogram, this is a Toronto-based startup founded by former Google Brain researchers. It has made a pretty big debut, and it has just raised an impressive $16.5 million in seed funding. The round was led by A16Z and Index Ventures, and it also had some additional backing from a pretty solid group of investors. I think they had, Golden Ventures, Two Small Fish Ventures, a ton of other ventures and angels on this. They had Andre Karpathy, and some other really, really interesting people. So I think the company aims to carve a solid niche in what is right now, admittedly, a fairly crowded AI image generation sector. And I think that they're standing alongside a lot of existing players, right? So we have, Midjourney, DALL-E 2, Stability AI's Stable Diffusion, and they're setting themselves up to be kind of the next big player here. So I think, like I mentioned earlier, what really sets them apart is their focus on solving a critical challenge that none of those other AI models are solving. And so that is essentially generating reliable text within an image. So for instance, this could be very useful for adding letters to signs or creating company logos. Specifically, I've actually used Midjourney before to generate website designs. It does a really, really amazing job if you're trying to get concepts for how to design your website. Unfortunately, all the text on it is complete just mumbo jumbo. And so at the end of the day, it's good for conceptually getting an idea, but it's not actually that useful for, getting anything that has actual text on it. So I think that this company's web application offers multiple different kind of preset styles. So you can do 3D renderings, cinematic, painting, fashion, product, illustration, conceptual art, and a bunch of others. I think one really big standout feature is the preset label typography. So this is designed to render text in various colors, fonts, sizes, and styles. And users have the flexibility to select and add multiple styles simultaneously. This is really amazing, right? Because before this, what you had to do was generate something with no text on it, right? You would just generate the design for a birthday card or for a website or for a flyer or for a billboard or whatever you're designing. You would get no text on it. You just try to get the asset. Then you got to go put it into something like Canva or Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever, go add your text and everything else on top later at a later stage. This is really nice that you're going to be able to do it all in one. And I think anywhere where we see this kind of compression of steps and automation of steps that usually you had to use multiple systems, I think we're going to see winners, because people at the end of the day do not want to have to move their project through, a 5-step pipeline if they can help it. They would really like to just get it all done all at once in one place. That's going to be a big winner. That's a really big advantage to that system. So I think the beta version of Ideogram's web application is already open for signups. And both its Discord server and the web platforms they have a ton of different examples showcasing really a lot of these capabilities that it has. So I think while these examples are quite impressive in the context of the current kind of state of the art, I do think it's important to note that they're not always entirely accurate. Of course, brand new technology, I'm sure you're not surprised. Ideogram, though, used its launch and beta release as an opportunity to kind of subtly demonstrate its text generation features. The company posted its mission statement, which is to, quote, help people become more creative on X. And they created that using their own tool, right? So that's kind of cool because even 1 word or 2 words is much better than Midjourney, but to be able to type out help people become more creative, a whole bunch of words, that's really cool. AI has not historically been able to do that. So I do think it's definitely not all smooth sailing for Ideogram. The platform has a ton of room to improve, for sure. I think it lacks a lot of certain features that its competitors offer, such as the ability to zoom out or to perform outpainting, right? A lot of things that Midjourney has recently added. And I think furthermore, the startup kind of encountered some inconsistencies during some testing that a lot of people did, including issues with rendering its own name. So still, I think it's early days for the Ideogram and the whole team over there. I'm going to give you guys a big congratulations, the whole team over there. You guys are doing something very useful, very innovative. It's definitely not perfect, but you just launched this thing. If you look at how long it kind of took Midjourney to reach its current quality level, we'll give Ideogram some space. And I do think its focus on reliable text generation could be a really big game changer, particularly for graphic designers or people that are looking to avoid the cost of hiring a graphic designer. So meanwhile, other AI image generators aren't exactly sitting still and doing nothing. Midjourney also, for example, just recently launched the Vary Region feature, which essentially allows users to add or remove or alter parts of a generated image. I covered this earlier in a podcast this week, but there's a lot of other interesting things happening in the image generation space that are very cool. I think the space is very competitive, but Ideogram's particular angle, which is bringing this whole typographic finesse, as it were, right, to the AI-generated image space, I think just might give it the edge it needs. The startup has already caught the attention of AI notables like David Ha, who's the founder of Siskana AI, and also Margaret Mitchell, who, both former Google employees, signaling that its, unique value proposition is definitely making a lot of people look over at it. So this is going to be an interesting company we'll continue to follow into the future.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.